Hello, my name is Duncan. I'll be your professor for this communication course. Now, a few basic things about me to start with would be that I was born at a university, Vanderbilt University Hospital in Nashville. Shortly afterwards, I moved to Denton, Texas, grew up there, and continued being in higher education because I learned to swim in a very scary Olympic-sized pool at North Texas. And I went to kindergarten in their demonstration school. And then later, in high school as a senior, I avoided the redistricting required in government class by taking it again at the demonstration school. And then I took college courses. Every summer I was home from college. In high school, I went to Denton High School. We were the Denton High School Broncos. I'm wearing their purple color. And I was on the speech squad as a debater and a performer, and went through a number of competitions, have some medals to show for that. And then I transferred, I went down to Trinity University, got to have a class with Paul Baker, a renowned theater person. And then in the middle of my sophomore year, decided I was ready for bigger and better things and transferred up to Austin to the University of Texas, where I took my degrees. So hook 'em horns, I like the burnt orange, but not in my house. I have it in my car. But at any rate, always graduate someplace that has good decorating colors, because those colors will be in your home. Well, some other basic things about me is that I'm married to Wayne Duncan. He is a professor of mathematics at MCC, sometimes known as Mr. Calculus. I have a daughter. She has a resale business, which apparently is booming during our situation right now. I have a stepdaughter. She's a professor of mathematics at Baylor University. I have a stepson, and he is an executive with a big tech company in Austin. I have a granddaughter who seems to be taking after my mother, who has a degree in art from North Texas, because she likes to do art. That's all she cares about. And she's quite good at it. Some other basic things about me include that I have had pets in the past. I'm pet free now for the moment, but I am definitely a dog person, so cat people beware. All right. Some preferences that you might like to know about me are that I like any kind of food as long as it's not insects or weird animals or spicy. My favorite colors are pastel type colors as a rule, especially any aqua turquoise or blue and green type colors are my favorites. They're cheerful and restful at the same time. Music, I'm really not into music very much, although my husband is a musician, my stepson is a musician, but it passed me by. And what I listen to in the car is classic radio, radio shows. Spoken word is something that is truly music to my ears. And I like to work crossword puzzles, I like to work jigsaw puzzles, I like to read, I like to binge watch series on television, I like to travel. I've crossed the Atlantic Ocean several times and visited Eastern and Western European countries. Been to Canada, Mexico, Alaska, have even been halfway across the Pacific Ocean, going to Hawaii a few times, Australia and New Zealand. And I can't wait to start traveling once again. Another thing I like to do is I like to game slot machines and like to visit casinos, so I have to play the slot games on my iPad now. But at any rate, I came to MCC in 1972. I directed the forensic competition program for 21 years, and from the coaching and the judging and the teaching of classes, I have listened to literally thousands of student presentations, and I still love it. Speech and communication are just passions in my life. And to let you know a little bit about my personality, I decided to choose the option of comparing myself to an object, which was one of the things we did in one of my Paul Baker classes. And as you can see, this basketball is round in shape. Well, so am I. But I also consider myself a well-rounded person because I've had a lot of travel and friends and experiences, because I've lived long enough to have most of those experiences, I hate to say. But anyway, I'm well-rounded. And another thing that's kind of interesting about a basketball is that if you run your hand over it, you'll find that it has a lot of little knobby dots on the surface. And that sort of describes me, because I've had a lot of different experiences in life and friends and situations that have all had an impact on me in some way and shaped me. And so I'm like the surface of a basketball. You can see it with a few wrinkles on the face too for me. Okay, another thing that I think is particularly like me as far as a basketball is concerned is that when you bounce it down, you push down on it, it comes right back up. And that's pretty much the way I am in life. If I'm pushed down by something, I don't stay down for long. I come right back up. And that's sort of the way I try to live my life. Look for those silver linings, find the humor, find a way to be positive about the situation. Well, that pretty much sums up the basics and the preferences and the personality of me. And I can't wait to hear your preferences and basics and personality in our Hello, My Name discussion.